Alderwoman Silverstein.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand in support of this resolution. Yesterday, I led many of you on a delegation to the Illinois Holocaust Museum. What a powerful and emotional experience. We were privileged to hear from Rhody Glass, a Holocaust survivor and a brave hero. She shared her story of deportation, abuse, and horror in the Shoah. She remains one of the few Jewish citizens of Holland to survive the Holocaust, the rest perishing in the fires of Auschwitz. One thing she shared with us that truly resonated was that the Nazis did not attack due to any actions on the part of the Jews. Nothing we did provoked their attempted genocide. Hate often has no cause. It is a cancer, a sickness that grows when left to fester. Today we are here to discuss a new sickness that is targeting the Jewish people, one that included horrors not inflicted on Jews since the Holocaust, Hamas's war of terror. On October 7th, Hamas terrorists burst through the Gaza security wall and rampaged across southern Israel, murdering, raping, and kidnapping civilians. Over the course of 24 hours, at least 600 innocents were killed in what was the bloodiest day for world Jewry since the Holocaust. As many as 150 civilians have also been abducted and dragged across the border into Gaza to be used as human shields and psychological torture for their families. Videos are already popping up on social media showing the terrorists delighting in torture, death, and massacre. To date, more than 1,300 Israelis have been killed and more than 3,300 injured. Israel has fewer citizens than the state of Illinois. Can you imagine the heartbreak and pain that thousands of casualties would cause in our state? In Israel, October 7th will always be remembered as 9/11. I want to be clear. The current conflict and this resolution is not about Israel and Palestine. It is not about one military... It is not about one military against another. It's about it.
Consider this the final warning. This is the final warning. If you continue to disrupt, I'm going to be required to remove everyone from the chamber. I do not want to do that. That is a decision that you have to make now. I've given you my final warning. Alderwoman Silverstein.
It's about Israel versus Hamas, a democratic nation versus an internationally recognized terrorist organization. This resolution is very similar to the one that was introduced by the U.S. House of Representatives this week. 392 members signed on across party lines. Our nation is united behind the cause, and so should the Chicago City Council. For those of my colleagues who are still on the fence, I'd like to focus on some of the atrocities Hamas has carried out on October 7th. Terrorists attacked the Tribe of Nova Music Festival early Saturday morning. Hamas arrived in body armor, brandishing AK-47s and rocket-propelled grenades. They gunned down people, with many victims shot in their backs as they were running away. Other terrorists stood near the bomb shelters, waiting to shoot the people who sought refuge. At least 260 partygoers were murdered, and a still undetermined number were taken hostage. Kibbutz Ba'ari was a small town of around 1,000 people. It was known for its thriving printing shop and its art galleries. So far, at least 108 bodies have been found in the kibbutz. 108 out of 1,000, more than 10% of the population wiped out in one blood-soaked day. Gunmen in Ba'ari were filming executing civilians as they begged for mercy, beating captives, burning homes with families inside, and mutilating the bodies of their victims. Kfar Aza was a small farming community of about 750 people.
Thank you. That's it. Those who are Sergeant at Arms, please clear. Those in the upper chambers can remain. This body will stand at ease as we clear this for 5 minutes. As we clear this floor, those upstairs can remain. Sergeant at Arms, please clear everyone on the second floor. Every person on the second floor has to leave. We are back in session. The chair recognizes Alderwoman Silverstein.
Kfar Aza was a small farming community of about 750 people, many of them families with young children. Dozens of civilian residents were murdered in their own homes, babies killed in their cribs. The IDF reported that bodies of about 40 babies were found in Kfar Aza. I'm going to say that again to let it sink in. Hamas terrorists from Gaza broke into the Israeli town and murdered dozens of babies in their own homes. Not just Israelis have been harmed in this conflict. Hamas murdered and kidnapped victims from multiple countries, including at least 14 American citizens, as well as citizens of Canada, the United Kingdom, France, Thailand, Nepal, Germany, Cambodia, Brazil, Paraguay, Mexico, and Ireland. 2 Evanston residents are currently missing and believed to be hostages held by Hamas. Natalie Renan and her mother, Judith, live just a few miles from this very hall, yet right now they may be huddling in a dank Gazan dungeon, unsure if they'll live to see another day. Many local residents have been touched by the fighting. Most of the Jewish community in the 50th Ward have loved ones and family in Israel. I personally have 2 nephews, cousins, and other family members that have been called up to reserve duty to fight the IDF against terror. My nephew left his 2-week-old baby behind to fight on the front lines and protect his people. To quote President Joe Biden, "There are moments in this life when a pure, unadulterated evil is unleashed on this world. The people of Israel lived through one such moment this weekend at the bloody hands of the terrorist organization Hamas, a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews." Again, Hamas is a group whose stated purpose for being is to kill Jews. I urge my colleagues to be on the right side of history and to take a stand against Hamas's evil. The United States of America stands with Israel. President Biden and Vice President Harris stand with Israel. Former Presidents Obama and Clinton stand with Israel. 392 members of the U.S. House of Representatives stand with Israel. Our Governor Pritzker stands with Israel. It's time now for Chicago to show our unequivocal support for the State of Israel as it deals with one of the worst terrorist attacks in human history. Am Yisrael Chai. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderwoman Silverstein.